Hi there and welcome. My name is Tembega and you'll get to know me even better on this video because I'm speaking specifically about how I work. And the reason I'm doing this today is because I've recently just cancelled free one-on-one sessions due to time constraints. And this is where I would get a chance to introduce myself to you. This is where I'll get a chance to explain to you how I work and why I do what I do. And now I can't do that anymore, so I decided to make this video, and then this is where you'll be able to get some information. So for starters, I dance, I write, I also do life coaching. And I'll start by talking about my writing first. And I've been writing now since 2016, and I enjoy writing poetry, a little bit of poetry. I enjoy writing prose, and I've got a novella that I wrote, which is a mix of poetry and a novel, and you can get that on my shop, so you can find most of my writing there. And also I run a newsletter every week where I write about feelings and emotions and how one can approach them in a way that's healthy and in the way that helps. So all of that is, not all of that, the newsletter is free, 100% free, and you can even find some of my writings on my Instagram page. That's 100% free. The book, you can get that, it's only available on PDF form, and you can get that on my shop. So that is my writing work, but it doesn't end there. You will find that my writing also comes into my life coaching practice, because I write to my clients at least once a week, and I write a big long letters at least once a month, talking about what I think of them, where I think they are right now in life, what I think is missing. And I believe that writing can be such a wonderful tool for getting to where you want to go, for pushing you further, because what happens is right now as I'm talking on this video, you are hearing my voice. You are also hearing this video according to my pace. Maybe I'm speaking too fast, maybe I'm speaking too slow, whereas with writing, it's very personal. It's as if we meditate together, so to speak, because you will read the email that I'll be sending you in your own voice. You'll be reading it, and the things that I say there are like positive affirmations, and you get to say those positive affirmations in your own voice, in your own pace. Sometimes you stop, sometimes you continue, sometimes you make a cup of tea before you read, and all of that I believe is part of my work, and it's part of the offer that I offer on my practice, on my life coaching practice, which I'll talk about soon. So that is my writing work. It comes into my practice, and it's there on my newsletter, which I do out of love, out of my passion, and I do it for free. So that's the one. And the second one is dance. Now with dancing, I do not really offer personalized dance, but I do dances that help with emotions. You can find them on Instagram. I think it's just on Instagram. I've never posted anyone here on YouTube, so you can find my dances. And the last dance that I did that you can find on Instagram was about how the process of being scared of our own emotions, the process of looking at ourselves and trying to hide and not being able to just do that. And just by watching the dance, it makes it okay, right? It makes it okay. And there's something about looking at dance. There is someone here on YouTube that speaks about that. Maybe I'll link the video there about what dance does to you inside. But what that dance did to me by watching it, just watching it, you don't even have to stand up from where you are, is it felt okay to be helpless. I could watch this woman that is struggling to go forward. She wants to go forward, but she's struggling to go forward. And all I can do really is sit there and watch. And I do not know how many times we've watched ourselves go through something really tough and we felt helpless. There are children playing around. I apologize for that. So I don't know how many times we've had a situation where you are seeing yourself go through something really difficult and you feel helpless, and you sit there and now you start judging yourself for being helpless, or you start feeling guilty for being helpless. And dance helps you to watch someone else go through it and let it be okay to sit and do nothing. So none of my dances expect you to stand up and dance with me. all of my dances are just for you to sit and watch and let it be okay to sit and watch yourself. And that's what this dance about. And most of my writings on my newsletter about that is make it okay to watch me go through it, and make it okay to watch yourself go through it mainly. So those are my dances. And on the shop I offer a dance piece which is about 30 minutes. Yeah, it is. It's about 30 minutes, and it goes together with some poetry, and it's about it's called We Are All Hurt. It's $99, I think, and it's called We Are All Hurt. And this dance piece is really, to put it simply, is about healing ancestral wounds, whoever your ancestors are. It could be ancestors from the north of this world, it could be from the south, it could be from the equator of this world, wherever they're from. There is something that we are all wanting to heal from that, or all wanting to deal with from that, because healing can be an overused word too. But there might be a way that we want to deal with that, and I show you how I express myself about my own ancestral wounds, and how I express myself through poetry and through dance. And that is available for purchase on the shop. So that's what I offer with dance. It doesn't really come into my life coaching services. I could, if there's an issue that you're going through, I could offer you a dance that's already on Instagram, and offer that to watch, so that it can help someone come down, right? So that's the second thing. And the one that really this video I'd like to focus on is my life coaching practice, which I come online for. I'm mostly online to offer that service, to offer myself as a life coach. I wrote some points down. If I keep looking down, it's because I wrote some little points down to remind myself, so that I don't forget to say some things. And I wanted to first talk about qualifications with regards to my life coaching, so that we get that out of the way. Out of the way. I need to drink some water. Okay, so that we get that out of the way, I'd like to talk about what I'm qualified at. And in 2009, I did a course that I got a certificate for. The course lasted for a year. It's a 12-month course, and it's in South Africa. That course, it's called, I don't know if you can find it in every country, it's called Occupationally Directed Education and Training Practice. You can look it up. And on this course, you learn how to close the gap between where a person is and their goals. You learn how to close that. You learn how to fill in the gaps. And usually they use this course for, you also learn how to create training materials. You learn how to assess how far someone has gone. You learn a few things like that. And usually this course is used by companies to help their employees, for self-development for their employees. So I've worked for corporate, whereby I was in charge, so to speak, in charge of the training department. And I would then look at what the employees need, and then I would work on their self-development and what they need. So that is my qualification, together with my experience. I think I have about 4 years of HR, maybe even 5. I'll check my CV. I've got about 4 to 5 years of human resources work, so I worked with people there a lot, and then also about 4 to 5 years of corporate training, besides my own practice. And then after saying that, after putting that out of the way of what qualification I have, I do want to say though that my practice is really based on that qualification. My practice is based on my own personal experience. I'm more of an intuitive guide rather than a life coach. I use life coach because that's what people understand better. If you say intuitive guide, they start thinking, are we going to be using crystals? Are we going to be using some tarot cards or things like that? So to make it more simpler, so that you understand how simple my ways are, I use life coach. But you really, what I am is an intuitive guide. I use both your intuition and mine to guide us on how far you should go with whatever it is that you're planning in for the future, and even for now. So that is how I work as well. And then so I mostly grab my experience and then grab my intuition to put it all together. Those are the methods that I'm using rather than the qualification itself, although it really helps to guide me on how to, you know, plan what we are going to do next week and the following week and things like that. That helps, but that's how far it is. So I've talked about the qualification. Now I would like to speak about what kind of tools do I use in my life coaching practice. And the tools that I use are, one is diet and mindset shift. Now, diet sounds like a big word, but you do not understand just how much of your emotions are based on what you ate, and most of the diet, most of the standard way of eating suppresses our emotions. And for me, I like to use emotions to guide us on where to go. So if your emotions aren't clean, if your emotions aren't pure, and what makes them pure is eating healthy. So there's nothing special about it. It's just eating healthy and cutting out some processed foods, not all of them, but some processed foods. So there's that part of, I let your emotions lead us of what is the most exciting thing for you to do creatively, where you should go. And to get there, one of the first tool that I use is diet to get us to there. So first tool is diet, and then there's mindset shifts, because so much happens to us, just even something that happened to all of us in 2020, where out of the blue, without us planning it, we had to stop whatever it is that we were doing and stay at home. That changes how our mind works, and it changes how we are wired a certain way. So my job is to look at that, is to say, hey, I think that thing that happened that time is dragging you behind. Can we deal with it? Or the thing that happened today is dragging you behind, because the past isn't something that happened 20 years ago. It could be something that happened 3 hours ago, an hour ago, today. So I am with you on a day-to-day basis to pick up and observe and use my intuition to see these are the things that are happening. So those are the two things I use. I use diet. We don't go on a strict diet, but I look at what you're eating to see if there are any processed foods that are making you not so happy. And then the second one has to do with mindset shifts. What's going on that is changing who you are, or changing what's going on that's changing who you are. All right, so that's the second one. And the third one that I probably should mention, that I definitely should mention, has to do with intuition. That 90% of what we use on my work is your intuition. So I work on sharpening your listening ear, on listening to your intuition more, or listening to your voice more. So my voice becomes lower and yours louder, so we hear you the most, and you sort of take the wheel of how our sessions should go, because I'd like you to be stronger intuitive wise, because I believe that I do not have the answers. You have the answers, because you know your life better than I do. So that's how I work. I've covered writing, dancing, and coaching, and I've covered how I work with regards to coaching. And then the other thing that I wanted to speak about is who works with me, who usually work with me, because, and I say who works with me because I do not choose. I couldn't. There were so many advice that I had to have a cliche. Is it a cliche? A niche. And I couldn't. I wanted to wait and see what kind of people are drawn to me. And now, after a year of being on social media and having an online practice, because my practice before then was offline. So after a year now, since 2021, I'm going for 2 years now of having an online practice. Now I can safely say who is attracted to my work, who works with me. And the people that work with me, and I'm going to link a page where I explain that. The people who usually work with me are people who have had a therapist, they've seen a therapist, they've had some sort of nutritional awakening, they already eating healthy. So it's people that are already healthy mind-wise and heart-wise. They've spoken to financial advisors, they've spoken to physicians, doctors, and they've had all of their life looked at. And now there happens to be this just one piece of a puzzle that is not making sense in their daily life. And they are trying to figure that out after doing everything. So usually healthy people approach me, and then we figure out the last puzzle, the piece of the puzzle together. And so that's the first person that comes to me. And the second person that comes to me is a person that is, so it's the piece of the puzzle. And then the second person that comes to me is one that has done some kind of spiritual, emotional work, but to link it into their personal life hasn't happened. It's not in their daily life. Maybe they went for a retreat for like 2 months and they were meditating for 2 months. Now to link it back into how does that translate on a day-to-day basis, then it becomes a situation. So those are the kind of people that work with me. And then the third kind of people are the people that do not feel safe to be who they truly are in their environment, and they are wanting to discover exactly who they are without being judged, without without feeling like they can get hurt. And there's a lot of hurt. I can mention it on another video of how people that are a little different, or people that are artists, creative, visionaries, do not really have a safe space to discover who they are. So I open up the sessions so that you can come here and in a safe space, because I'm one of those people too, where you could really express yourself and really discover who you are. So those are the people that usually come to me. So when it comes to sessions, the minimum time we meet is once a week for a good hour, and I do not use time to measure how much we should do. I use your personality, what kind of a person you are, how much you can handle in one space of time. How much do you need? Are you the kind of person that likes to meditate alone by yourself and I give you stuff to think about later? Or you're the kind of person that likes to think with someone else with you, right? And then that will decide how much time we do, but the minimum is 1 hour, and then we can see how much we can do after that. So that is how the sessions work. And I've got a membership that if you join the membership, then all of these things become part of that. I've linked all of that below. I think I've said everything. If there's something that I didn't say on this video, which is awfully long, I didn't expect it to be this long, please let me know. I'm available on email. You can email me and let me know what is it that I didn't mention that you would like to know. Otherwise, this video stays here for as long as possible so that it works as a way, as a guide of knowing if you'd like to work with me. And if you'd like to know about my sessions more and just everything that I do, it's all on my Instagram page. You'll find videos where I am teaching, coaching, and you'll also find videos where I'm dancing, and you'll also find videos and you'll also find posts where I am writing, and then you can decide which one speaks to you the most. And that's it. I am gone. Bye.